Hey everybody, this is Brad from Johnson Small Engines. We have a Toro LX 426. This is actually an MTD in disguise. It could be a lot of different things as far as the models of these tractors. This is an older version and the mower deck is a little bit different as far as getting it off. So it's a lot different than the rest of them we have been doing. I use a pair of pliers and I use we're going to need a 1/2 inch ratchet. I use my electric tool. You can get just a 1/2 inch with like a 6-inch extension on it. We have to get underneath here and take a bracket off the front. First thing I'm going to do is, well, one thing we got to do is make sure that you're on asphalt or concrete if you can. It makes it so much easier. I'm lifting the hood up just to get a little more light in here. And then we have to make sure we go over to the deck height adjustment, which I have it already down. But when you're working on these things, make sure the deck is all the way in the down position. And you have it disengaged. This is not an electric PTO. This is just a 42-inch cut. It's a manual lever engagement. So that means you have in fact, it was engaged, it's disengaged. So you have to engage and disengage the belt. The first thing I do to this guy is I take the belt off the front before I do anything. And it has right here, it's a bracket that goes across. Now, I forgot one thing. We want to use if you can use a marker of some sort, I'm going to use a silver marker and mark the sides where this comes off. This is the bar we have to get off to get this belt off correctly. It comes up, if you follow it up with your fingers, it comes up and goes underneath, and it goes up in here to a bolt. This bolt is a 1/2 inch socket on there. It's like a 5/16 bolt. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line right here, just so we know where it goes back. Use a little silver piece, all right? And then I go around to the other side, and we're going to mark. If you follow it, you follow the bracket again, it comes up and it comes on underneath, and right here it sits in the frame. Now I see all these different holes. You can kind of get messed up and put in the wrong hole. So I'm going to put an X right above that hole, so when we go to put it back in, we know where it goes. All right, so now we have to go back over and get the bolt out of the bracket. I'm going to use my 1/4 inch drive. It's a 1/2 inch bolt. It goes straight up. Now I get a feel for these because I do this all the time, but find the bolt and loosen it up. Everything's going to drop down. Try to make sure you don't lose the bolt. Alright, so here's the bolt. Alright, and then the bracket will come down. Now this has steering in the way and everything, so it's a little tricky to get this thing out, but I'm going to have to move the steering I think a little bit to get the bracket out. I'm trying to pull it out of the other side right now. It should just come out from the other side. And you drop it down. It's a little tricky, but it does come out. You just have to fish it in there. Alright, and that's it. It's kind of very strange, but that's how they do it. That's why it's so important. It goes back in the way it was. So that's why I marked the 2 spots. Now once I get that out of the way, we can drop the belt off the front pulley, which is very easily done. So the pulley's off. Now this one doesn't have pins in the front for the bracket in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rear first, and then we're going to slide the deck forward. All right, so the rear, these don't have pins. This is actually, you can take these off by pulling these guys. Now these are very, very tight because it's still hanging. It's not sitting on the ground. So this is where I put my foot under the deck. I try to get the deck up off of the tension here, and then I'll just push this until it pops out. All right, some of them are easier than others. Some of them are not easy at all. Some of them are easy. This one wasn't too bad. So now we gotta go around the other side and do it again. And this one here, sometimes I get my left arm in here and pick up the mower deck when you have the chute in the way, so it's a little bit tricky, but pull it up. All right, it just popped out. And then you can lift up the arms by lifting out your deck height adjustment lever and get them out of the way. Now we have a cable. The blade engagement cable is connected to the back. I'm going to try sliding this out. Now we have to slide it forward first to get it off the front. Okay, it's front bracket, so we're going to, if you can see how it's kind of hooked up right here, if you pull the mower deck forward, right, and you just pull it up out of the way, it has a flat spot right in the front of it here. And if you push that forward, it's right here, the flat spot's right there. If you push that forward, it'll slide out, just like that. Just remember how that goes. I've seen people put it in backwards and it lifts the deck wrong. Okay, so you got to make sure you put it in exactly the way you have it out. We're just going to leave it off to the side there. So now we can pull this out a little bit. Actually, it looks like the cable is coming off from the other side. So I'm going to push this the other direction to get so we can get to where we can get to the cable. So we're pushing it out the other way. We're gonna go around your side. Got to be able to see that cable a little bit better, but you got to be careful we don't stretch it. Okay, here's the cable. Alright, just make sure you don't stretch that cable too far. A little bit tricky to see that pin. He's got a very large pin right here. It looks like that might not be factory. It might be somebody might put that in there. It's a very old setup. And get your pliers. Try to pull that up. And this one's really in there. Alright. This is a really big clevis pin. Don't need to use them. And then you pull this out. And up. The cable will come out. Now, if you look up here, everything, I'm going to try to give you a little more sense of what I'm looking at here. Alright, so where the cable is, you have to make sure that you go underneath your belt. This one's actually bent. This is not supposed to be bent like this, but it still works. You could replace it if needed. And you're going to go up to a 90 degree. It's going to go right out of the hole. If you want to, get your marker and mark that hole, because there's a hole here and you don't want to use that one, you want to use the right one. All right, that's the one that came out of, that's the one we're going to use. And then you take your cable out the other way and hang it off to the side. Don't be careful, you got to hang that up because you don't want to run it over with the tractor tire. You'll stretch it, and I've seen them break too. And then you can pull the deck straight out. It's not a real easy one, but they're all doable. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.